Now, most people, when they, are younger, it's like either football, basketball, whatever. Tennis. What made you get into tennis or be interested?
Well, I know that I have a very diverse background because I actually did football and basketball and baseball. And as a matter of fact, it was actually from my baseball team. When I was about 8 years old, we had a baseball game, and there was actually a free tennis clinic that was going on after our game. So our whole team, rushed over there to the free tennis clinic, and I tried it out. That's where I met my first coach, Coach William Brown, and I liked it. So it was something that I did during the summer where there was like a break between your football and basketball and baseball. It was like something kind of supplement those sports. And as I got older, I just started sticking with it more and more, and eventually about 10th grade, I decided to focus just on tennis because I actually played football my freshman year in high school, and that's pretty much how I got into it.
Now, football is, as we all know, it's more of a team sport, whereas tennis is kind of, you're on a team, but you're kind of like on your own out there. Do you prefer the individual sport over the team sport, or?
Well, that's one of the things I like about tennis because, like I said, from my background, I'd always done team sports.
Right.
And one of the things about tennis is that, as you know, it's an individual sport where when I'm out on the court, I don't have, a teammate to throw the ball to me or necessarily to depend on. It's all on me. So if I win or if I fail, it's on me.
Right.
But one of the unique things about playing for a team is that I'm able to, I guess, get back some of that team sport feelings that I kind of missed as I was playing in my middle school years. And so that's why I think I have a unique background, because I have done team sports, and being able to play for a team like in high school and here at UMES, it kind of brings back that dynamic where when you're not on the team, it is just all yourself.
Right. Now, when I watch tennis on TV, it's a lot more intense than people think. And my sister played tennis in high school, and I remember going to her competitions, and some of them would last like a few hours, and it's nonstop. And a lot of times she would get cramps and stuff like that. So what is your diet before the game so you can keep, your momentum up through those long matches?
I watch what I eat a whole lot. I try to make sure that I eat like a lot of pasta and carbohydrates. And also I hydrate a lot of times when we're traveling to our matches. Our coach can get kind of annoyed because I have to run to the bathroom several times because I've drank so much water prior to the matches, because I've had matches where they've lasted for about 3 or 4 hours, and you don't want to start cramping up if you're not properly hydrated.
Right.
And so that's why I make sure that I the night before I get plenty of rest, I watch what I eat, and that I'm properly hydrated.
Now, like most of the athletes here at UMES, they are, they do excel on and off the court. And Rashad, I mean, you're the typical student athlete because you get good grades. But not just in high school, but here, you were on the dean's list. But in high school, you graduated with a 4.4 GPA. I didn't even know your GPA could go past a 4.0. I mean, were you always strict and structured and organized when it comes to academics your whole life?
Interesting story. It all kind of clicked my 7th grade year. The adjustment from elementary school to middle school was an adjustment period. And one thing that I noticed like around my 7th grade year is that a lot of my friends would say oh, I didn't do my homework or I didn't study for the test. But when it came time for report cards, it was, I got this grade, I got this grade. I'm looking at myself, I'm like, well, if you didn't study, if you didn't prepare for the test or whatever, how is it that you have good grades? So I kind of took it upon myself where, I'm going to have a little bit of responsibility for my academics, and from then on, I've been able to, pretty much excel. And, even in high school, pretty much my focus was school and athletics.
Right.
I didn't really have enough time to really get sidetracked because I wanted to excel in both. So I've been able to kind of take that type of preparation and discipline,
Right.
and that helped me to graduate number 4 in my class. And that type of discipline, like I said, has transferred over to UMES, and even at some other schools I've taken some courses at, and has allowed me to stay pretty well grounded academically as well.
Now, sticking with academics, you have many accomplishments. I know in high school you were awarded Charlotte Post Top Senior, and you are part of the International Honor Society here in school, and you're part of the Dean List. Something you did last semester with our women's senior, Talaire Frazier, is the Hawk Leadership Program. You guys went down to Atlanta. How did that go, and how did you feel about being part of something that can help a lot of students coming up after you?
Well, with the conference down in Atlanta, one of the biggest things that I got out of that was being able to interact with other Division I athletes from various programs. I mean, programs as big as Duke and University of Miami, all the way to some schools I'd never even heard of before.
Right.
And to be able to see how they necessarily interact with their individual sports, how their system works at their school, some of the pros and cons that they have at their school, and how I can kind of take that and try to share it with a lot of athletes here that, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I mean, even programs in our state, College Park, I mean, they have athletes there who they have issues with. For instance, like they may have issues with their tutoring programs there, and so that was one of the biggest things I got from it. Just being able to kind of interact with a lot of the other different Division I athletes, and seeing that the grass isn't always necessarily greener on the other side.
Now, switching back to tennis, your guys' season starts soon. In March, you're headed to play Bethune-Cookman for your first match, right? And recently, the poll came out where you guys were voted 5th to, end the MEAC this year. What are your expectations or your goals, or just what are your thoughts for this season? It is your last year. What are your goals or plans and accomplishments that you want to achieve this year?
Now, as far as with the men's side, we have the highest expectations that I've had since I've been here. The team that we have this year pretty much is the same team that we've had for like the last 3 years. So we didn't really lose anybody. And with the success we had last year, we're trying to build off that. We actually picked up 5 wins last year, which was the most in our program's history. So, like I said, we have the highest expectations that we've ever had here for UMES.
Well, we all are excited about this year, and for those of you who are able to make some of their matches, you can log on to our website. I just want to end off with something that can kind of like let people get to know more about you. When I see Rashad around campus, he's kind of like low-key, kind of to yourself. Are you shy? Or you just kind of like to yourself, you do your own thing?
It's pretty much like I said, I have that strict schedule that I'm trying to stick to it.
Right.
And so, if you see me walking around campus, it's pretty much I'm either going to or coming from something in order to get something done. So, a lot of times I like to kind of stay on track pretty much.
Like tunnel vision? Right,
tunnel vision.
Well, I'm going to ask you just a few quick questions. Would you rather be a paramedic or a firefighter?
Oh, man. I think I'd rather be a paramedic.
Paramedic, okay. Would you prefer winter or summer?
Summer.
Summer. A night in or a night out?
A night out.
Night out, okay. Would you rather have a missing finger or an extra toe?
I'd rather have an extra toe.
Okay, that's interesting. Would you rather be able to see or hear?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I think that I would rather be able to see.
Right. Okay, I have one more question. If you had any power, fly, disappear, what would it be?
Well, being able to fly would be cool, but I think looking back over, for instance, like I'm a sociology major, and and we do some talking about morality. And I think that if people had the ability to disappear where no one could actually see what they're doing, I'm wondering how moral people actually be. And not saying that I would want that ability, but I think that it would be kind of interesting to see that, to see how people would actually act if no one could actually see them and what the actions that they're actually doing.